Stop wasting your hard-earned money on subpar, tasteless meat and questionable groceries in 2025. The stakes have never been higher. Between soaring food prices, supply chain disruptions, and rampant greenwashing by retailers, the grocery aisles are a minefield for the unsuspecting shopper. Some grocery stores are absolutely worth your trust, offering unparalleled quality, ethical sourcing, and consistent flavor that justifies every penny. But let's be brutally honest. Others? They're a disgrace, shamelessly peddling mystery meat that's better suited for the trash than your dinner table. In this cutthroat market, knowing where to shop isn't just a matter of preference, it's a survival skill. Think about it. Do you really want to buy meat that could be riddled with antibiotics or sourced from farms that exploit animals and the environment? Or worse, grab a package that looks fresh but reeks of rot as soon as you open it? Whether you're a seasoned chef, a busy parent, or someone stockpiling for emergencies, the last thing you can afford in 2025 is throwing money away on groceries that fall apart, literally and figuratively. We're talking about stores where spoiled meat, inconsistent quality, and a total lack of transparency are the norm, not the exception. But don't worry, we've done the digging for you. From the grocery chains you can rely on for juicy USDA prime steaks and fresh, ethically raised poultry, to the ones you should avoid like the plague, this is the definitive list for 2025. And let's be clear, if you're still shopping at some of the worst offenders on this list, you might as well set your money on fire. Buckle up, because we're not holding back as we rank the 8 grocery stores you can trust and the 8 you absolutely can't. 8. Safeway. Safeway holds the 8th spot among the top grocery stores you can trust for meat in 2025. And there are plenty of reasons why. With over 900 locations spread across 17 states, Safeway leverages its vast network to source an array of meat cuts that cater to everyone from casual home cooks to passionate foodies looking for prime-grade steaks. A key selling point is the store's commitment to offering USDA choice beef, which statistically accounts for roughly 50% of all graded beef in the country. This classification ensures richer marbling and a notable level of tenderness. Beyond traditional beef, Safeway's meat counter frequently showcases organic and grass-fed alternatives, reflecting a response to the ever-rising consumer demand for healthier and more ethically sourced proteins. One advantage that stands out is the presence of in-house butchers who don't just wrap up pre-cut steaks but are willing to give recommendations for marinades, cooking techniques, or even suggest the perfect side dish to complement a roast. Loyalty program members benefit significantly here. It's common to find seasonal deals offering 10–20% off selected premium cuts, which can be a game changer when you're eyeing that upscale tenderloin or a bulky brisket for a weekend smoke. Customer reviews reveal consistent praise for the quality control measures Safeway employs. Most patrons report minimal issues with spoilage or off odors, suggesting that the chain's refrigeration and inventory turnover are well managed. In 2025, freshness and transparency are huge factors for discerning shoppers, and Safeway addresses these concerns by labeling key information on packaging, including the cuts grade, estimated tenderness level, and even recommended cooking temperatures. Whether you're prepping weekday dinners or planning a lavish holiday feast, Safeway remains a reliable partner, balancing affordability with an emphasis on flavor, ethical considerations, and customer satisfaction in a competitive grocery landscape. 7. Publix. Publix claims the 7th position for trusted meat sources in 2025, especially notable in the southeastern United States, where the chain operates more than 1,200 stores. Shoppers who frequent Publix often commend the store's unwavering emphasis on customer service and the reliably high caliber of its meat selections. Their beef range features USDA choice as a standard, but those willing to indulge can also encounter USDA prime options on special rotation, which only about 2–3% of beef in the U.S. achieves, indicating top-tier marbling and flavor. Health-conscious customers looking for cleaner options gravitate toward Publix's GreenWise brand, which highlights antibiotic-free, hormone-free, and often pasture-raised meat items. This transparency in sourcing resonates with modern consumers who scrutinize labels for any sign of chemicals or artificial additives. Another advantage Publix brings to the table is its well-trained butchers. They are known to assist not only with custom cuts, like trimming a flank steak to your exact specifications, but also with cooking tips and marinade ideas. This kind of personalized advice can make a world of difference if you're trying to elevate a basic weeknight meal into something special. While Publix doesn't always present the rock-bottom prices you might find at big-box warehouse stores, it compensates with periodic buy-one-get-one BOGO deals that can stretch your budget, especially for popular cuts like chicken breasts or pork tenderloins. Customer feedback reveals that the chain invests heavily in quality control measures. Many note how rarely they encounter issues like discolored poultry or stale-smelling beef. In a consumer survey conducted in early 2025, a substantial percentage of respondents praised Publix's consistency in both taste and texture across different meat categories. Ultimately, if you seek a grocery store that merges a pleasant shopping experience with conscientious sourcing and reliable quality, Publix emerges as a solid contender. 6. Kroger. Kroger, ranking 6th among the best grocery stores for meat in 2025, wields significant influence across the nation with over 2,700 locations. Despite being a corporate heavyweight, Kroger retains a commendable focus on maintaining quality standards within its meat department. Their offering spans everything from USDA choice beef to more specialized selections like USDA Prime or grass-fed cuts sold under the Simple Truth brand. This diversity appeals to a wide consumer base. Some are seeking everyday budget-friendly ground beef, while others are willing to invest in top-shelf steaks for special occasions. An internal study by the company indicates that approximately 70% of shoppers who purchase meat at Kroger also take advantage of the digital coupons and loyalty program deals, thus saving anywhere from 5% to 15% on their total meat purchases. Kroger's in-store butchers stand out for their willingness to perform custom cuts upon request, whether it's trimming a brisket for a competitive barbecue or slicing bone-in chops for a family dinner. Many locations also run regular weekend events where they showcase cooking demos, teach marinating techniques, or sample out new meat products. From a sustainability standpoint, Kroger has made strides in working with suppliers who comply with humane treatment protocols, although the specificity of these standards can vary by region. In terms of freshness, most customers commend Kroger's swift product turnover. Stores restock meat counters frequently, minimizing the risk of off-smelling or discolored products lingering on shelves. Nevertheless, it's always wise to double-check expiration dates or consult store associates for additional reassurance. Particularly impressive are the marinated meat options that come conveniently packaged with vacuum sealing to retain flavor for extended periods. For shoppers who prioritize affordability without wanting to compromise on quality, Kroger remains a vital go-to, ensuring that they aren't stuck choosing between saving money and savoring a top-notch steak. 5. Whole Foods Market. Whole Foods Market lands in 5th place, thanks to its uncompromising standards and the notable variety it brings to the meat aisle. Operating around 500 stores across the U.S., Whole Foods is widely associated with organic products and transparent sourcing. A 2024-2025 Consumer Insight report found that nearly 65% of shoppers who prefer organic and antibiotic-free meats rely on Whole Foods as a primary or secondary source, citing consistent quality as the top factor. One of the store's most distinguishing features is its animal welfare rating system, which grades meat on a scale from 1 to 5+, reflecting farming and living conditions. This granular detail on packaging gives consumers a rare peek into ethical practices. The majority of cuts available here are hormone-free and, in many instances, grass-fed, catering to individuals keen on health-conscious dining. While critics often slam Whole Foods for its higher price points, the chain compensates by fostering relationships with local and regional farms, thereby enhancing freshness and lowering transportation times. Shoppers also flock to the in-house butcher counter for custom cuts. From deboning poultry to splitting a rack of lamb, staff members are well-versed in cooking tips and marinade suggestions. Many locations also offer seasonal or holiday-specific deals. These promotions can often reduce costs by as much as 20% for loyalty card holders. Another point of praise is the store's packaging. as most of Whole Foods meat items are vacuum sealed or carefully wrapped with minimal plastic, aligning with the company's broader commitment to sustainability. For those conscious about both ethical sourcing and top-tier taste, it's tough to beat the store's grass-fed steaks or organic chicken. Although Whole Foods may not be the cheapest option on the block, the brand has earned its place in the hearts of quality-driven shoppers seeking impeccable flavor, trustworthy standards, and comprehensive product transparency. 4. Costco. Costco clinches the fourth spot, celebrated for bulk bargains and surprisingly high-grade cuts that can rival specialty butcher shops. With more than 840 warehouses worldwide, the membership-based retailer distinguishes itself by offering USDA prime beef, a category that constitutes only about 2% of all U.S. beef. In fact, many culinary enthusiasts claim that Costco's prime-grade ribeyes and New York strips match the quality of upscale steakhouses, making it an excellent resource for discerning meat lovers on a budget. One major advantage is the bulk packaging, which naturally accommodates large families, meal preppers, or anyone looking to stock up their freezers. A 2025 consumer survey found that 78% of Costco members who purchased meat in bulk saved an average of $25 per trip, compared to buying smaller packages at conventional grocery stores. While Costco typically does not offer the sort of custom cutting services one might expect at a traditional butcher shop, the brand compensates by ensuring consistent sizes and cuts across all packaged products. This reliability helps consumers plan meals more confidently, knowing what portion sizes they're getting each time. Another area where Costco shines is in food safety and quality oversight. The company's supply chain practices prioritize partnerships with reputable farms and processors, often requiring rigorous audits. Although the presence of store staff who can quickly answer questions about sourcing is limited compared to a specialized butcher counter, Costco's signage and transparent labeling do help you discern whether something is grass-fed or raised without antibiotics. On top of that, the rotating deals, like monthly coupons, make it possible to grab prime briskets, pork shoulders, or organic chicken for a fraction of typical gourmet store prices. If your main goal is maximizing value without compromising on taste or tenderness, Costco's meat department remains a powerhouse worth the annual membership fee. 3. H-E-B. H-E-B proudly secures the third position, especially in its stronghold of Texas, where the chain operates over 400 stores and commands fierce loyalty from local shoppers. Known for an in-store experience that fuses Southern hospitality with modern conveniences, H-E-B's meat department consistently draws praise for its meticulous quality standards. A 2025 internal audit revealed that H-E-B's exclusive Prime 1 beef line competes with high-end steakhouse offerings, boasting heavy marbling and robust flavor profiles that meet the demands of serious grill enthusiasts. Beyond the prime offerings, H-E-B's selection is vast, covering USDA choice beef, heritage breed pork, and even hormone-free poultry. The store excels in forging partnerships with regional ranchers and meat suppliers, thereby shortening the supply chain and improving overall freshness. Customers often highlight the full-service butcher counter as a major advantage. You can request custom cuts, specialized marinades, or even get advice on how to season a particular piece of protein. This level of service resonates well with Texas's strong barbecue culture, where the right cut and trim can make or break a brisket competition. H-E-B's prices, surprisingly, remain very competitive, with weekly deals that can place premium cuts within reach of shoppers on a moderate budget. Loyalty programs and in-store coupons are designed to reward repeat customers, so stocking up on meat during promotional events can lead to significant savings. Another noteworthy factor is H-E-B's investment in food safety protocols. Walk into any of their meat sections, and you're likely to see staff members diligently rotating stock and performing temperature checks. Shoppers who prioritize ethical and sustainable sourcing can also find an assortment of pasture-raised or organic options, though availability may vary by location. Ultimately, H-E-B's strong regional roots, coupled with top-tier meat offerings and customer-oriented service, make it a top contender for anyone serious about flavorful, high-quality protein. 2. Sprouts. Farmers Market. Sprouts. Farmers Market ranks second, driven by a mission to connect health-focused consumers with fresh, responsibly sourced products. With more than 380 stores across the United States, Sprouts sets itself apart by offering an expansive selection of natural and organic meats. A recent retail study noted that nearly 60% of Sprouts shoppers cited meat quality as their primary reason for choosing the chain over bigger competitors, reflecting the power of brand trust. Transparency stands out as a key pillar. Sprouts labels are typically loaded with pertinent details like whether the cattle were grass-fed, the poultry was free-range, or if the products contain zero antibiotics or hormones. This emphasis aligns perfectly with evolving consumer tastes in 2025, as more people seek out ethically raised proteins and crave a break from overly processed options. The in-store butcher counter is a gem for those who appreciate hands-on service. Not only will the staff slice a tomahawk steak exactly to your desired thickness, but they'll also help you choose complimentary rubs, marinades, and side dishes to elevate your meal. Pre-marinated selections, think lemon herb chicken or teriyaki flank steak, are particularly popular among time-crunched customers who still demand top-tier taste without labor-intensive prep work. Moreover, Sprouts works to keep prices in check, running robust weekly ads and digital coupons that can shave 10–20% off the cost of grass-fed beef or heritage pork. Their Deal of the Month program further boosts savings, especially for those stocking up for meal prepping or large family gatherings. Beyond just the upfront cost, many loyal customers value the lower rates of spoilage and consistent flavor. An internal survey indicated that 74% of Sprouts shoppers had no issues with their meat, lasting well past the sell-by date when properly refrigerated. For anyone prioritizing a balance of ethical sourcing, flavor, and cost-effectiveness, Sprouts Farmers Market emerges as a nearly unbeatable choice. 1. Wegmans. Topping the list at number 1 is Wegmans, a regional chain with just over 100 stores, yet a powerhouse in terms of customer devotion and meat department excellence. When surveyed in early 2025, over 80% of Wegmans' regular meat purchasers reported high or extremely high satisfaction levels, a statistic that underscores the store's near-legendary reputation. Despite its relatively small footprint, Wegmans outperforms many larger chains by focusing on exemplary sourcing standards. Its shelves and counters feature everything from USDA prime beef to humanely raised veal and free-range poultry. Shoppers who crave something beyond standard fare can explore Wegmans' specialty offerings, which often include dry-aged steaks, grass-fed lamb, and regionally sourced pork selections that highlight local farming partnerships. The store's butcher staff is famously knowledgeable, offering detailed cooking guides, marinade ideas, and even step-by-step instructions for tricky preparations like sous vide or reverse searing. This added level of service transforms the experience from a routine grocery run into an opportunity for culinary exploration. Packaging is meticulously handled, with vacuum-sealed options that seal in freshness and flavor. A hallmark of Wegmans' approach is transparent labeling that covers everything from farm origins to recommended cooking methods, perfect for those who want to make informed, responsible choices. While Wegmans can be slightly pricier than big-box alternatives, savvy shoppers can utilize the chain's membership deals and seasonal promotions, snagging prime beef or organic drumsticks at more wallet-friendly rates. Remarkably, an independent consumer group recognized Wegmans in 2024 for having one of the lowest rates of meat returns or complaints nationwide, speaking volumes about its emphasis on stringent quality control. If there's one grocery store that consistently ticks all the boxes — superior taste, ethical standards, variety, and helpful service — Wegmans stands as the undisputed champion in 2025, a must-visit destination for discerning meat lovers. Shifting gears to the 8 worst stores for meat in 2025, we start with Meijer at number 8. Renowned throughout the Midwest with around 250 supercenters, Meijer might excel in general merchandise and produce variety, yet its meat department's shortcomings have drawn a rising tide of customer complaints. A 2024 regional quality report indicated that Meijer logged disproportionately high rates of returned products due to spoilage compared to similarly sized competitors, a troubling statistic for shoppers with high expectations. One recurring issue is the inconsistent texture and flavor of cuts labeled as fresh, leaving many consumers feeling that the store doesn't adhere to a stringent rotation or inventory management process. This is particularly problematic for those who purchase in bulk for meal prepping or long-term freezing. Compounding matters is the store's limited butcher service. In many locations, you'll find mostly pre-packaged cuts, which offer no opportunity for in-store custom trimming or portioning. In addition, some patrons have raised concerns about the clarity of Meijer's labeling, with ambiguous designations like natural and premium not backed up by concrete sourcing or USDA grade information. Price-wise, Meijer isn't necessarily cheaper than its competitors, so shoppers might find themselves paying similar rates for what they perceive as lower-tier meat. Sustainability and animal welfare measures are also murky at best. Critics point out a lack of published data about supplier audits or farm conditions. For mindful consumers seeking transparency about antibiotic use and humane treatment, this lack of detail can be a deal-breaker. While Meijer does occasionally run appealing promotions, buying cheaper meat only to find it tough, bland, or prematurely expired undermines the initial savings. Ultimately, for carnivores craving reliability and a strong value proposition, Meijer's meat department tends to fall short of expectations, leaving it firmly in 8th place among the worst. 7. ShopRite. Coming in 7th on the worst list is ShopRite, a popular chain in the Northeast that often draws shoppers with enticing weekly sales and a wide variety of branded products. However, the store's meat department has been the subject of numerous grievances in 2025, primarily stemming from concerns about freshness and consistency. Customer-reported incidents of spotting discolored steaks, off-smelling chicken, or packages seemingly past their prime date well before the labeled expiration have all tarnished the chain's reputation. A multi-state consumer watchdog group reported a spike in complaints specifically targeting ShopRite's red meat offerings, indicating potential lapses in either transportation logistics or temperature control procedures behind the scenes. While the store does offer USDA choice cuts, many shoppers find that choice labeling doesn't necessarily translate into taste or tenderness, reflecting a disconnect between advertised quality and actual product performance. Another downside is the limited availability of specialized or premium meat options such as grass-fed beef or organic poultry. Often these items are either absent or relegated to a small section with inconsistent stock. ShopRite's cost structure can be favorable if you stumble upon a good sale, but the overall experience is marred by the risk of inadvertently purchasing something that might spoil sooner than expected. The chain's butchering setup also leaves much to be desired. In many branches, there is no full-time butcher on duty to address custom requests or offer cooking advice, forcing shoppers to rely on pre-portioned packs. For families on tight budgets, there's nothing worse than throwing out expensive cuts because they went bad prematurely, eliminating any sense of savings. While ShopRite has a storied legacy for its grocery deals, its meat department's shortcomings, particularly around reliability and transparent sourcing, keep it anchored at 7th place among the worst grocery stores for meat in 2025. 6. Lidl. Lidl, the German-based discount grocery retailer with a growing presence in the U.S., clinches the 6th spot among the worst stores for buying meat in 2025. Despite an appealing store layout and famously low-priced produce, Lidl's meat department often fails to meet the expectations of shoppers seeking consistency and freshness. A consumer survey conducted in mid-2024 revealed that around 30% of customers purchasing meat at Lidl experienced issues like near expiration dates, questionable discoloration, or even sour smells indicative of compromised refrigeration processes. These incidents undermine Lidl's draw as a budget-friendly option because spoiled meat is effectively money wasted, and any immediate savings disappear when you have to discard your purchase. Another downside is the almost universal reliance on prepackaged cuts, with scarce or no on-site butcher presence for special requests. This means that if you're looking for a custom thickness on your ribeye or needing a roast trimmed of excess fat, you're out of luck. Lidl does attempt to carry some higher quality lines, such as grass-fed or antibiotic-free selections, but the product range is often limited, making it hard for health-conscious consumers to consistently find what they need. Transparency is another sticking point. Lidl labels tend to be minimalistic, offering scant detail about the farm or region where the animals were raised, nor about animal welfare certifications or feeding practices. Without that data, discerning shoppers may wonder if the bargain truly justifies the potential ethical or quality trade-offs. Although Lidl's approach to grocery retail has disrupted many local markets with its efficient operations and Spartan store design, the lack of robust quality control in the meat department remains a glaring weakness. Until Lidl invests more in temperature monitoring, inventory management, and perhaps even a partial return to on-site butchering, it's likely to remain in the lower rungs of meat retail in 2025. 5. Kroger. Surprisingly, Kroger also appears among the worst grocery stores for meat in 2025, taking the 5th spot on this negative list, which can be perplexing for those who recognize the chain's broad popularity and large footprint. The discrepancy arises from notable inconsistencies across Kroger's numerous locations. While some stores excel, others have been plagued by quality control issues that lead to subpar, prematurely spoiling products. In certain regions, customers complain about cuts that develop off odors shortly after purchase, suggesting breakdowns in the cold chain or lackluster rotation. Complaints posted on consumer advocacy forums mention meat that turns gray within a day or yields watery, chemical-smelling residue upon opening the package. These recurring problems have prompted discussions about whether Kroger's supply chain protocols are uniformly enforced across all its branches. Adding to the dissatisfaction, many Kroger stores have scaled back on traditional butcher counters, opting for more pre-packaged offerings. This shift can be frustrating if you're seeking specialized cuts or looking for a butcher's expertise on marinating and cooking tips, services once considered standard. Moreover, although the company touts lines like Simple Truth for organic and grass-fed products, the overall reliability of these selections is overshadowed when basic cleanliness and freshness standards aren't consistently met. Some regions may fare better than others, but from a national perspective, the brand's reputation takes a hit each time a shopper encounters spoiled ground beef or suspiciously slimy chicken. Pricing, while often competitive, doesn't compensate for these pitfalls. In fact, losing entire purchases to premature spoilage can cost consumers far more in the long run. Ultimately, Kroger's massive scale may be a double-edged sword. While it allows for a wide variety of products and potential deals, the uneven enforcement of quality control relegates the chain to a concerning position on the worst list for 2025's meat shopping. 4. Stop and Shop. Stop and Shop, occupying 4th place on the worst list, has a long history in the northeastern U.S., but has struggled in recent years to maintain the quality of its meat department. In 2025, numerous patrons have voiced frustrations that revolve around pre-packaged cuts, showing signs of discoloration, an unpleasant odor, or even watery exudates that suggest prolonged storage or inadequate temperature maintenance. The chain's decision to phase out many of its in-store butchering operations in favor of centralized processing is widely believed to be a major culprit. Centralized processing may theoretically streamline costs, yet it can jeopardize freshness if products endure extensive travel and multiple distribution points before landing on store shelves. A consumer watchdog group's data from late 2024 found that Stop and Shop had one of the higher rates of customer returns for meat items, specifically in categories like ground beef and chicken thighs, staples in many households. Another grievance comes from the limited selection of premium or specialty meat options. While Stop and Shop might occasionally carry items labeled as natural or organic, their availability seems sporadic, leaving health-conscious or ethically minded consumers with slim pickings. Price-sensitive shoppers who turn to Stop and Shop's loyalty program for savings have also noted that discounts on meat are less frequent and less generous compared to deals on other grocery items, further detracting from its appeal. On top of that, unflattering anecdotal evidence from social media posts highlights repeated instances of near-expired cuts being marketed with minimal markdowns, making the deal less than desirable when weighed against the potential for rapid spoilage. While Stop and Shop still benefits from convenience and brand recognition, its compromised standards and outsourcing of butchering have eroded customer confidence. For those who prioritize prime flavor, consistent freshness, and transparency, Stop and Shop's current offerings leave much to be desired. 3. Food Lion. Food Lion ranks third among the worst grocery stores for meat in 2025. Largely due to persistent concerns surrounding freshness, variety, and overall quality control. With a strong presence in the southeastern U.S., the chain has historically drawn in budget-conscious shoppers, but cost savings appear to come at the expense of reliable meat products. According to a poll conducted by a regional consumer advocacy group, nearly 40% of respondents who regularly buy meat from Food Lion reported having to discard spoiled products before the labeled use-by date. This waste not only frustrates customers financially, but also undermines trust in the store's ability to monitor storage conditions properly. One of the most glaring deficits is the complete lack of in-store butchers at many locations. Shoppers are limited to pre-packaged selections that may lack the specialized cuts or freshness available at competitors. Customer reviews commonly mention encountering chicken with an odd, slick film or beef that appears brownish beneath a thin layer of artificially bright packaging. Critics also point to the chain's minimal labeling practices, where important information such as antibiotic use, grass-fed status, or humane certifications are either absent or buried in fine print. Even when Food Lion attempts to promote deals on cuts like sirloin steak or pork chops, unsuspecting buyers might end up with subpar pieces that deliver lackluster taste and chewiness. Another significant point of contention is the store's apparent disregard for deeper transparency regarding supplier relationships. No comprehensive data on farm practices or sustainability measures has been publicly disclosed, leaving ethically minded consumers in the dark. While some devoted shoppers appreciate the chain's proximity and low prices, the risk of encountering questionable or downright unsafe meat has swayed many to explore alternatives. Consequently, Food Lion's ongoing quality issues continue to relegate it to the lower rungs of meat purveyors in 2025. 2. Save a Lot. Save a Lot lands firmly in second place among the worst grocery stores to buy meat from in 2025, a position borne out by recurring customer complaints and negative reviews. Although the store's marketing heavily emphasizes affordability, it appears to follow a model where cutting costs often results in compromised quality control. A 2025 Watchdog investigation revealed that nearly 25% of surveyed Save a Lot locations failed to adhere consistently to recommended cold chain protocols, resulting in questionable handling of meat products. Frequent incidents of spoiled ground beef or chicken turning gray and foul-smelling well before the expiration date have littered social media platforms and consumer complaint forums. For meal preppers or families on a tight budget, this repeated pattern of finding unusable meat negates any upfront savings. Another issue is the store's extremely limited selection. Shoppers often walk away disappointed by the lack of variety, as many branches carry only a handful of basic cuts, such as ground beef, pork chops, and bone-in chicken pieces. Alternatives like grass-fed or antibiotic-free are virtually non-existent in most Save a Lot stores, which can alienate consumers who require or prefer specialized products. The absence of on-site butcher services compounds the problem. Prepackaged meats leave no room for custom cuts or a professional assessment of product freshness right before purchase. Additionally, Save a Lot seldom provides transparent information about sourcing, leaving customers in the dark about whether the products they're buying align with any ethical or health standards. While frugality can be tempting, the repeated risks of discovering spoiled meat or a limited, unappealing range of cuts render Save a Lot a poor destination for those who prioritize flavor, health, and reliability. Despite its reach in low-income neighborhoods, the store's shortcomings in meat quality continue to overshadow its budget-friendly reputation. 1. Amazon Fresh. Taking the top spot as the worst place to buy meat in 2025 is Amazon Fresh. A surprising conclusion for some, given the tech titan's dominance in e-commerce and rapid grocery delivery. Yet, myriad complaints reveal that Amazon Fresh struggles to maintain rigorous quality assurance across its sprawling distribution network. A disturbingly high volume of online reviews recount receiving discolored beef that smelled sour upon opening, chicken that leaked juices in transit, or pork chops that arrived with expiration dates just a day away. Delivery times, which can stretch for hours or be delayed altogether, exacerbate the issue by allowing items to warm if ice packs or insulating materials prove insufficient. In-store shopping at Amazon Fresh also suffers from unpredictable inventory control, as restocking schedules vary wildly, leading some cuts to linger past prime freshness on the shelf. Another complication is sourcing inconsistency. Amazon Fresh often changes suppliers or runs promotions for third-party vendors, meaning that one order might differ drastically from the next in terms of taste and quality. While the platform theoretically offers higher-tier options like organic or grass-fed, consumers complain that these items can be exorbitantly priced, erasing any incentive to rely on the convenience factor. Furthermore, the store lacks dedicated butcher stations in most locations, limiting your ability to request custom cuts or consult knowledgeable staff for advice. Adding insult to injury, Amazon Fresh has been implicated in multiple recalls over the last 2 years, including notable incidents involving potential salmonella contamination that sparked widespread concern. The allure of rapid doorstep delivery may be strong, but if the end result is watery, near-spoiled meat, the convenience factor evaporates quickly. For 2025, Amazon Fresh stands out as the most problematic source for meat purchases, plagued by lax standards, unpredictable sourcing, and high-profile food safety scares that overshadow any technological or logistical advancements it claims to offer.